I'm Angela DeYoung of Designs by DeYoung and designsbydeyoung.com. I actually am here today with Darron Haralson with Inside Out Maintenance. Thank you so much. He was so nice to come and talk to me and share with us a little bit more about some eco-friendly products that we should be considering in our homes. And one of them, and his specialty and his main business, is foam insulation.
You're going to get 4 inches of an open cell foam, and just to give you an idea of how quick this can actually go.
Look at it's like pure liquid, and now it's expanding. Look how quickly it expands. Can you see that? Let's tighten up that. Look at that. Look at that.
This material is an open cell foam.
So we're dealing with an open cell foam, and you were okay with, because the walls need to be shaved.
I still have to shave this off so I put the drywall on.
Okay, all right.
And open cell acts almost like a sponge. It allows moisture or water to actually move from cell to cell, and this would actually absorb water.
Okay. And this actually, now that he pulls it off, I'm just going to get a little closer. It looks a little bit like cotton candy on one side and just kind of like a molding foam on this side. So anyway, very fun.
And extremely energy efficient. In the case where they have 2x6 walls at 5.5 inches, once these are trimmed, they will have an energy efficiency almost 97%. Far better than standard fiberglass insulation.
Now, could you kind of talk to us a little bit about what R rating means? Because I think R rating can be very misunderstood.
It is extremely misleading in the fact that R rating is the resistance to conduct heat or temperature change. Once you get to a certain point, fiberglass will conduct temperature change, whether it's hot or cold. The R value that was established for fiberglass was done in a laboratory without air movement, without convection currents, and it's extremely misleading. Extremely misleading.
And so basically, when people are looking at R values and R ratings, you should really be looking at the number.
Typically, walls, 2x4 construction would be a R13.
Okay.
And under floor areas, over basements, crawl spaces, garages, R19. Up in your roof area, attic, you're looking for at least an R30. Those values are going to be changing, and they're actually going to be going higher. This material has a relatively, in comparison, a low R value, but its ability to conduct temperature change is extremely low, so it actually has a better ability to stop air infiltration, air exfiltration, drafts, and the ability to conduct that temperature change because it has the ability to isolate. And when it does so, then you can have a lower R value, but a better conductivity, a lower conductivity. And the lower the number, the better.
And then that's the one thing too I noticed is that with doing the foam insulation, it does create like a very tight seal to the house.
It does.
And you don't have those air gaps, or like some people like to refer to fiberglass as like a cotton candy air filter, because in a lot of ways that's what it is doing.
That would be about right.
Yeah, and in this is so dense, and you had gone and made the extra precautions around anything where you'd have any passive daylighting through if you were to use any of those solar tubes. I'm sure you'd have to take extra precautions. I noticed in the can lights we reviewed some of the extra insulation, fire coating that's necessary around to marry the two products together as far as the extra insight that goes with that as well. And this is definitely the way of the future. This is the future of today's building process with the foam insulation, correct?
It is, and eventually fiberglass is going to be completely written out of code because it's also been determined to be a carcinogen where it breaks down even the particles that end up inside the wall. As air comes through it, it carries those particles with it. And then you end up breathing it. It gets into your furniture, into your carpet,
Oh, that doesn't
ultimately
sound very
into your lungs because it gets sucked up into the AC system.
So, you know, one thing I absolutely love about your tagline that you came up with is that insulation may be pink,
Insulation may be pink,
but
foam is green.
And I just think that's so great. And, you know, when it comes to the building trades, I know a lot of women do make a lot of the home buying decisions, and I think just from the girly side of me, that really kind of stuck out to me because I can relate to the femininity of being a woman, like, oh yeah, you think pink, pretty,
Colors.
you know, stuff like that, and knowing now all the information I have about building materials and applying it to, I think it's a great tagline.
Well,
So,
in some cases, guys are just black and white.
right.
Very little gray areas.
Yeah.
Some women do think in colors, so fiberglass may be pink,
Yeah.
foam is green.
Yeah, and it's also the healthiest choice for your lifestyle.
It is.
Okay.
Your house is a lot healthier after the fact.
Well, thank you so much for all your time today, Darron. I think that this is some great insight about the foam product and some things that we should be considering when we're doing additions and new construction, or even just enhancing an existing structure to tighten the envelope of a home. And because one thing you had mentioned prior is that if you have a brick home and not a wooden structured home that's already built, they will be able to come in and inject the foam into those brick walls and get you nice and warm for the winter.
You can do that as well. On a 2x4 wall, I can actually do an injection by drilling through the mortar joint and injecting into the stud bay cavities themselves, filling up with an R16.
Yes, which is R16 is higher than the standard of the 13. So now we're learning today.
There you go.